Welcome, team. We have an episode today with a bit of a difference, and I'm actually so excited about it because I'm sitting here with Bombr Sneakers, is what I know you as. Because let's go to your TikTok straight away. Bombr, as in Bombr Sneakers. There's no E in there.
No.
Bombr Sneakers. TikTok, Instagram, some of your social content's off the charts. What you're doing with sneakers, and I think it's fascinating, mate, your energy that you bring to this and your story you're going to share and where I see you are going. Like, without a doubt, I know you probably won't release too much now, but I know that you have your own brand that will drop one day, and that's going to be crazy.
Which you've seen personally.
Yes, I have. No one's seen this yet. No one's seen this yet. But, so, everyone knows you as Bombr Sneakers, but Johnny.
Yes.
Can you share a little bit of where this come from? Because, mate, if people go now straight to the TikTok, there's a video there of 4.4 million viewers that just went off. You sold, you made a killing overnight. In 30 seconds, you had a waiting list of thousands of people waiting for personalised sneakers.
Yes, pretty much.
And it's just gone from strength to strength.
Yeah.
So can you share with me a bit of your story of where it all started, this passion for it, where it's at now, where it's heading? And then I definitely want to go back to your influences in your life and stuff. But, yeah, actually, let's start with where is the business right now? Because it's pretty impressive. And, by the way, you're part owner of 27 Project, a studio which we're actually sitting in. So
it's your studio now too, brother.
Yeah, you're in a very creative space with some very creative people.
Yeah.
Including Tai Tuivasa, who we've had on the show.
Yeah.
You know, you got some digital people here that are geniuses at their craft. You've got you making sneakers, and there's a real creative hub going on out here at 27 Project.
Yeah.
So, but tell us where the shoe business is at.
At the moment, still loving what I'm doing, bro. Making custom sneakers for people, one-of-a-kind pieces for people. Yeah, man, we're just pumping that. Still making content with my best friend and business partner here, Nicky, who I told you about, I've spoken about. So, yeah, man, just still being creative. And like you just touched on there, like, creative hub is what we wanted to have here, always wanted to have. So, like, all those brains put in together, you can just imagine what stuff we can come up with. So that was the whole goal. And I showed you some of the stuff on the Instagram that we've made. And but, yeah.
Mate, the sky is the limit. Because, by the way, let me tell you, you have probably cost me money and I don't even know. My son has probably bought your stuff. Like I took my son to England during the World Cup rugby league, and he's out there and he's goal kicking with Nathan Cleary one day, and he's visiting different teams training, and it was a bit of a rugby league experience, father-son time, and I was doing a bit of work and stuff, and I had a few things to go to in London, right? So I had this seminar to attend in London, and my son drove me mad to go and visit these sneaker shops. Now, I never realised how big this industry was.
It's huge.
Mate, I'm telling you, we had to go from one side of London to the next. The traffic, never drive in London. You should take the underground.
Yeah,
never drive. But I was trying to drive a hire car around London to get to this shop.
Yeah.
He had to visit this famous sneaker shop. And you walk in, man, I'm talking thousands of dollars for shoes. And what are you talking about?
I know.
Like, I didn't know. And then we go to Leeds, and we're in Leeds for a game to watch, and we've got to go to this other sneaker shop, and he looks it up, and he said, yeah, this one's famous on YouTube, and this one. And, mate, I never knew how big this industry was.
Yep.
You know, I love good shoes and stuff, but I didn't realise these exclusive shoes that will drop, and there's kids waiting to just hit the button, and now you're personalising these shoes.
Yeah.
So I bet you I've paid money for your product.
I see.
Because
I think I'm blessed because of like what you were just saying then. The whole hype around sneaker and the sneaker game at the moment in the last 5 years has been insane. So the timing was kind of perfect for me, what I'm doing as well.
Yeah.
So it kind of like worked well with what was going on in the scene in fashion and in sneakers.
Yeah.
So yeah, that whole like demand of wanting to have like the last pair of this rare item or this one, like that's what people want. They want that, you know, that rarity and like that to be different and have a one of a kind of piece, you know.
Well, the stuff you do, there's obviously there's a skill to it. Like I've even seen the sewing machine out there. Like,
Yeah.
There's a lot of detail that's going on in what you do, and I'm just watching this video right now with the millions of viewers. This is a pair of TNs, and you're stitching some material on it.
Yep.
And this was hyped up that much that people, like thousands of people, were hitting you up, wanting a pair of shoes made.
I woke up next morning with 4.5 million views and like an extra 40,000 followers. So it kind of spun me out a bit of imposter syndrome on that one. Like, it's very weird. But it's.
I'm just flicking through, and then it flicks to some really cool creative content I'm looking at here, like, and that's obviously partnering with Nikkei.
Yeah.
Like, he's a genius at this.
He is, man. He's the best.
So your content's cool, your product's cool. I can see why people are loving what you're doing.
It's a formula in itself, all that stuff. And you've noticed with content of late, like, content's everything.
Yeah.
Content is everything. If you're marketing it well and your product's well, it's going to work. So just keep doing what you're doing.
Wow, there's a photo shoot you did where someone's hanging a shoe by a fishing line. And yeah, that's cool. That's cool. Yeah. Mate, I'm going to make sure I go through all your TikToks.
I'll be sending you some videos so you can use. Yeah, for sure.
So just on that, you started with 0 followers and now it just keeps growing.
Yeah, 0 followers. When I first met Nikkei, I said, bro, I want 10K followers at the end of the year. And we were mid-year. During COVID, we started working together.
Yeah.
And I only had 3,000. He goes, mate, you're going to have 20 by the end of the year. It's literally pretty much close to 20.
Yeah.
And just working with him was a blessing, and meeting him and doing what we're doing is mad.
And I see then Tai Tuivasa, then you personally made a pair for him, and he walks out in them, and then he's talking about it on Mark Burris's show.
Yeah, that's it.
And then before you know it, people want those shoes. So, but some of the material, mate, like, I just needed to ask, like, where did it's obviously personal, so people would hit you up personally to make their shoes. But surely some companies have gone, hey, hang on a minute, you're using my material to put on that shoe.
Yeah.
Like, has any companies come hunting you?
Oh, yeah.
Have they?
Yeah, we've had one lawsuit.
Have you?
Yeah, which a company that I can't name. But it was a good lesson for me in the future as well, especially moving into what I'm going to do in my own sneaker. So make sure I've got all my bases covered with that. But yeah, this name brand was, bro, they're worth millions, mate. And they were hitting me up for some money.
Were they?
Yeah, which respectfully, in a way, where I was wording what I was doing at the time and the way I was wording it was wrong. So that was all my fault, really. But good eye opener too. Because at the end of the day, I'm just cutting up vintage bags and just cutting and sewing on the shoes. There's nothing to it. It's not like I'm opening up a little store saying it's their exact brand and whatnot and selling it. Yeah, the loophole for me is I'm just cutting up vintage material that no one wants to use anymore and put it onto some other sneakers that can be a one-of-a-kind artwork for someone, that they can wear around and be proud of. And that's the difference, yeah.
Cool. So that's how you got out of it? So there was a lawsuit?
Yeah. And I had good solicitors, and then basically at the end of the day, just you can't sell their stuff anymore.
Okay.
And that's all it was. But yeah, good eye opener, man, because you're naive, you're making like cool money, but then you realise like, oh, I can't do this, I can't word it like this, I can't use X amount. You need to learn these lessons through business, right?
Well, you know what, I love the way that's like, if you go back and listen to a Nathan Cleary episode we've done where we talk about learning lessons even when you're losing a game or missing a field goal, like how you can learn for the next. So every kind of setback is actually an opportunity to learn. It's not a failure, it's an opportunity to learn. So even the way you've just accepted responsibility straight up and owned it, that was my mistake, I need to learn more about this. Like that's going to be a cool story when you're eventually
kept the papers to frame them.
Have you?
Yeah, of course, because they'll be mad one day to look back on all this stuff.
Of course they will.
Yeah, I think if you're talking about Claire's and that, like I think I do get all the morals and all my principles from sport. From soccer and stuff and growing up my old man. So that's where I will go, if I need to take ownership of a mess up, I have to go full I have to just take it on my chest. And it is what it is, bro. Like, you made the mistake, so deal with it. And how are you going to change it? How are you going to work with it? Like, you can't just look about it.
That's great that you just have acknowledged what sport can do for a kid.
Yeah, man.
And learning those lessons. And even if there's coaches listening, that part of your job as a coach of junior kids is you have the power to be a positive influence on their life.
Yeah.
Knowing that not all of them are going to be superstar sports people, but if you can influence their life in a way that here you are now, you're on the fringe of really cracking the business world, and it's through a lot of influences from sport and your own father.
Yeah.
So let's go there then. Tell me about how you grew up, where you grew up.
Yep.
Challenges along the way.
Yep.
Who influenced you, and you said soccer was a big part of your life, right?
Yeah. So growing up, we were a big soccer family. My old man's English. He's from London, so he's growing up. He taught all, like me and my siblings, all the principles he knew and he learnt the hard way and whatnot. And every day was something. Always training, always pushing us to our limits, showing what we're capable of doing. Yeah. And man, I played. I got to the top tier level. I played soccer in England for 6 years.
Did you? Who for?
So I've done my apprenticeships all around England, really. So Mansfield Town was my first club.
Yeah.
And then I moved around Nottingham Forest, Blackburn Rovers. There's quite a few because I was there for a while. But the last
you were an apprentice.
Yes.
Explain that to the listeners, because
how could I more like the resis or
like the reserve grade team.
Yeah.
But they did call them apprentices, didn't they?
Yeah, because you're not a pro yet. You got to earn that. Yeah. And literally the two boys out of the team, under 18s, I guess.
Yeah.
Under 18s, two of those boys get a pro contract after they're done. It's not an easy gig.
Yeah.
But man, I learned so much over there, and from coaches what you were just saying. Like, I learned a principle from my coach Darren Finch, and he was like gaffer at Stockport, and he was like telling me, Johnny, 3 passes ahead. Make sure 3 passes ahead. Know what's going on. Check your shoulder. But all these little principles I have now transmuted into business.
Brother.
That's what people don't understand.
3 passes ahead. I've walked into here, and I mean, we have mutual friends, but I've never actually met you. But the first day I met you, I realised this bloke is 3 passes ahead.
Yeah.
Like, you are ahead of the game.
Yeah.
Like, this shoe that will drop one day, and like, I've got no doubt there'll be an exclusive shoe that, like, I've actually seen it. You're ahead of the game.
Yeah.
Like, you're 3 passes ahead in your business.
Yeah, you have to be,
and that's been influenced by, what was his name?
Darren Finch.
Yeah.
Yeah, good manager, man. Best manager I've ever had.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, good manager.
Oh, that's great. Because there's I have a lot of coaches that listen. Yeah. A lot of teachers, a lot of trainers. But even a lot of business people listen. But there's a little lesson, like, one coach influenced you as a teenager, and then...
It's taken,
That's mad.
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah, it's 3 passes ahead, 3 steps ahead. Make sure, you know what you're going to do with the ball at your feet, You're going to run with it, you're going to hold it, what are you going to do with it,
Yeah.
So now, with the business, is like, okay, customs is great, and it also makes me money, but it's not going to be around forever. So I want to have something for my bloodline that's going to be generational wealth. It's not all about wealth. It's just looking after my family, making sure my dad's set, can pay off all his stuff, All the boys do it around the area. It's inspiring. That's what I want to do as well.
Yeah.
So having all that already set and being those 3 steps ahead, I know it's going to work. So having the sneaker that I showed you, the one that's been made in Portugal, proper European leathers and that, I know if I market it right, which I will, and I've got the right team around me now, no doubt it's going to work. It will work. So, yeah.
And you said your dad used to instill in you what's possible and what you can achieve.
He still does it to this day.
You're a big believer.
Yeah.
But
I believe everything I say. Yeah, I'm very competitive as well growing up. So, and he's instilled that into me as a kid.
Awesome.
So, yeah, we'd be out down the park for hours, and I'll be making sure I could hit this top bin, making sure I could curve this ball the right way before I left the pitch or whatever.
Yeah.
And then my old man would be like, that's great, okay, let's go to your left foot or whatever it was, But yeah, all those little lessons that he's taught me growing up, even the ridiculously hard sessions. Like my old man's, he sometimes feels a bit guilty because he thinks I got my injuries through soccer, but he thinks he overtrained me. but I loved every single session, mate. I wouldn't have changed it for the world. And yeah.
What injuries, mate?
I had 2 dislocations in my knees. So I dislocated one knee in a game.
Yeah.
Just damages to my ligaments over and over again. And then I come back here for a season. My mum got sick. So I come back from England and played back at Marconi.
Yeah.
And dislocated my left knee in a training session. And that was pretty much it. Like, I had surgery on the right one. But my old man's like, mate, I want you to walk when you're 30. You know, I was 22 at the time, 21.
Yeah.
He goes, call it a day. Like, I know it's going to be tough, but I reckon we call it a day because there's no point. You want to save your body. I want you to walk when you're older.
I want you to walk in your own sneakers.
Exactly. And this is where we're at because he jokes about it too. He goes, you're making more money than you ever did making sneakers and being creative. You always have been.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Where'd the creative bit come from?
I've always drawn. As a young'un, I used to draw like your cartoons and stuff, my favourite shows. And even funny enough, I remember travelling England with my old man and I had this little notepad that I've still kept. And in that book, I used to design my own boots and my own sneakers in this book.
Yeah,
and I was about 10 or 11 at the time. And I remember vividly that was my passion. I would sit there for hours just drawing sneakers. And then there was a space in time where I completely forgot about all that stuff. But when I got injured with the first knee, I started getting into realism. And, I draw portraits. So I'd like to see how close I can get to the real thing with a pencil and a rubber. And I could do them mad. And even with all that, I was doing street art and stuff with that. It was all weird how it all happened. I've done from that soccer to getting into art again, to doing street art. And then I got on like Sky News for my art, randomly, the Bolt Report, I think it was called, on Sky News. And then I got into the Archibald Prize for an artwork I'd done with Mark Latham. Yeah. And all this stuff started happening. And I thought that was going to be my thing. And then nothing, out of nowhere, I was like heartbroken. I thought this was it, you know, soccer's not working. I've got into my art. It's going to pop off now. And then stopped feeling sorry for myself. What else can I do? I started a soccer academy. I was a coach for 6 years. And then after that, the academy funded Bombr Sneakers to start that up, which a friend of mine in England who I was playing with at Stockport told me, mate, start this. I know you love this stuff. Go it. And that's where I am now, like, from all these little things.
Does the soccer academy still exist?
No, it doesn't.
No.
I think over time, I think we were talking about this just before, about being in the game for so long, it kind of gets tiring a bit, mentally draining. And I didn't want to just go do it for the money. I wanted to do it I'm still passionate about it, and I wanted to do it because these kids are going to learn from me.
Yeah. So
I've done it for 6 years, and the last year I wasn't feeling it. It was during COVID as well.
Right.
And I feel like a lot of, I don't want to say this to come off like cocky or the wrong way or whatever. A lot of parents don't realise what they got when they have a good coach here, especially in this country. Yeah. Where in England, you get dropped off to the training session and that's it.
Yeah.
You don't talk to the coaches. You don't let them, like, that coach is going to become your kid's mentor if he's doing his job right.
Yeah.
And I didn't respect that here. Like, I wanted to be mentor to all these kids.
Yeah.
And it started to get a bit political. Like, nah, this is not for me, man. I'm losing the love for it because of this stuff.
The love will always be there, though. You'll go back one day. Your brand will probably go and 100%. Sponsor.
Yeah, that's it.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like your brand will be on a team.
Yeah,
or, you know,
100%. It will go full circle moment, eh?
It will, mate.
Yeah.
So the artwork, that's interesting. The street art. What do you mean street art?
So as a young'un around this area, a lot of the boys were into graffiti, and that's where my nickname comes from originally, Bombr.
Here we go.
So
we can't get you any trouble, can we? No.
So we used to just go, you know, to your drains or whatever and do your artworks or whatnot. But from that, I didn't want to get in trouble using spray can, so I started doing street art, so more like stencils and like they call them paste up. So it's like you print off your artwork, and I could print off artwork as big as this room and paste it up with wallpaper glue. Right. So if they needed to take it off or I get busted doing it, I just rip it off the wall. But that was a little way to...
So you were a well-behaved graffiti artist.
Or a smart one.
A smart one.
Yeah.
You were 3 steps ahead. Yeah. You were 3 steps ahead.
Excuse me, because my dad would have gave me a hiding.
Yeah. If I'm going to get caught, you just rip it down.
That's it.
Wow.
Yeah. So that was where the stuff comes from.
You'll have to show me some.
Yeah, I've got some stuff.
So that's where the nickname comes from.
Bombr. Yeah, Bombr. Yeah.
So, do people know you as Johnny now? Nobody.
Nah, no one. So the inside joke there is with Nickhead when we first met. He's like, bro, stop introducing yourself as Johnny. I was like, should I just do Bombr? He's like, yeah, because what we spoke about all the time with all that artwork stuff is people have 7 points of contact with a certain business or a logo or a name. If they have it enough times, they're never going to forget your name. They're never going to forget your business. So when I introduced you when I introduced myself to you for the first time as Bombr, you go, Bombr, that's a weird name.
Yeah.
But a lot of people are not going to forget Bombr as a name. And then you go, why was your name Bombr? And then I go, I'll do this. And it's like, oh, okay, that's pretty cool. So you're putting all these you're connecting all the dots here to something that's never going to be forgotten, the 7 points of contact. So around the area I put up, and also around Sydney, I've got a few stickers up in London, but I would just put all my stickers up everywhere. So all my heads are everywhere, and that's another point of contact. So it's that social media, talking, doing stuff, content here. Hopefully it's like a big umbrella and it just funnels back into what I'm doing. Yeah. So yeah, that's how I think with it all.
3 steps ahead.
That's
mate.
it, you have to be, mate.
3 passes
Yeah,
ahead.
3 passes ahead.
Ooh,
but yeah.
I might get you. Can you market this show?
I'd get Nick to help me too. He's the brains.
Mate, too clever.
Yeah.
Too clever. Any hard times, mate, growing up? Did you grow up here in Western Sydney?
Yes, St. Mary's. Yeah.
So, mate, there's so many people out here that are success stories.
Yeah.
And you're going to be one of them. Well, you are one of them, but you...
Appreciate it, bro.
You know what I mean? Like, there's so many out here. What was it like growing up here?
It was. I had a good upbringing. I had some troubles at home, as a lot of people do. My mum was a heavy drinker. God rest her soul, which we didn't know she had problems or whatnot. We think she had some kind of mental issues that no one knew about then. And bro, she ended up when I was 22, she passed away. And that was a big pivotal moment in my life, man. Like that kind of rocked me and my siblings and my old man as well. But yeah, man, growing up with that was pretty hard. I didn't realise what was going on until I was older. And yeah, it was just a lot going on. That was one of the reasons why I come back from England the first time, was because my mum had 6 weeks to live.
Oh, really?
Yeah, we were told when my brother was with me too, playing in England, and we got the call saying your mum's got 6 weeks to live. But yeah, she was hard as nails, mate, so she stuck around for 6 months after that. But yeah, we saw a lot of things that no kids should see. But reading books and, educating myself with self-help and all that, you realise that you're not the only person going through this stuff and through this struggle. So that kind of got me out of that victim mentality. And you're probably the first person I've spoken openly about this. I don't want to be a victim, and I don't think I should be. Like, I want to show people that, bro, I went through this, and there's plenty of stuff that went on at home. But, mate, I'm having a go. I used that energy well. I transmuted that energy from negative to positive, and hopefully make my mum proud, even though she wasn't with it majority of the time growing up. I know where she's at now. She's looking down on us kids, and we're having a good crack, mate. So that's where we're at.
Mate, that's awesome. And thanks so much for sharing. You said you never spoke. This would relate to a lot of people, but Jesus, so you came back from England at, you said that before, didn't you? 21, 22.
Yeah.
And that was why.
That was why, yeah, because that kind of changed my whole life. Because if I didn't come back from England, I would have got injured again here. Like, I don't know, you don't know how life works, and hindsight's a beautiful thing, but yeah, that was the reason. That was the reason why I come back from the UK.
Your brother, what's he doing?
My brother's he's been doing good, bro. He's a good looking fella. He's the best looking brother. Yeah. My sister trumps us all, but
we'll use them in photo shoots.
Yeah, so they literally do that at the moment. So my brother's modelling for Shoe Grab, a company that we work with here in the studio, and they're the biggest shoe company in Australia, man. They sell all the rare stuff and whatnot. So he's been doing modelling, doing all that stuff, and also he's been on like reality TV shows of late.
Yeah, right.
But yeah, man, he's doing well. So they all, I think my siblings, like I said to you, the stuff that my dad's taught us, realising that there's no point feeling down and out because someone else in the world's going through something 1,000 times worse than what you are.
Yeah.
So
You had a choice. You
have a
could
choice.
Kick stones, or you could.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And you hear that a lot, right? But yeah, man, they're all having a crack, and I'm so proud of them, man. And it's awesome. So hopefully one day all three of us will be successful.
So I'm feeling like, so you lost your mum, then you decided to give up your football career.
Yeah.
And then you went on this journey with the art and stuff.
Yeah.
There must have been a bit of soul searching going on during that time.
There was times where I was really depressed about not making it as a footballer. And you would have seen it in the NRL and these kids, man. And all the hours we put in, all the money my old man spent, I felt guilty. Like, I've let people down. I've let everyone down. And especially being out these ways, a lot of people knew me as the kid that played soccer and that was good at it. But yeah, man, there's a lot of soul searching for sure. There's a lot of times I'm thinking, like, bro, like, I should be on the telly there. Like, I'm way better than these players and whatnot. But maturity as well helped me with that because, like I said, man, there's only so much you can, like you said, there's only so much you can kick stones and cry about it, mate.
Well, mate, you also said, like, you started reading.
Yes.
I find that interesting because I did an episode recently with, who was it? Someone went through a tough time and someone gave him a book.
Yeah, that's literally what happened to me.
Yeah, and it started them on this path of, like, before you know it, they've read 100 books.
Yeah.
Like, so someone handed you a book.
All right, someone handed me a book of, like, you hear about all the time, manifestation, right?
Yeah.
I'm a man of God, and I believe in the manifestation stuff as well. So it meets in the middle for me, all that. So whatever I say, whatever I write down, I know I can make it happen, but I know there's action behind that.
Yeah.
So a good friend of mine, Enrique Liasa, we were training together at the time. It was another thing that I'd done. I was boxing with him. Like, something that was picked up. I'm like, I'm going to be a boxer. Let's go.
Yeah.
As everyone will try, you know.
Yeah.
But yeah, he goes, bro, read this. And I opened the first page and it says, this book is meant to be in your hands. And it was way he got that book. He went to the mountains one day when he wasn't supposed to, and he got this old book. And someone goes, oh, yeah, you'd like this. But he wasn't ready for it, so he gave it to me. And, mate, it changed my life. Yeah. And
what was it called?
It was called The Law of Attraction Essentials by Abraham Hicks.
Mm-hmm.
Abraham S. for Hicks. So I didn't realise, but all 5 volumes were in this one book, and it was thick as. So, yeah, I got through that, and that started on my journey with all these other books. And the one that's really stuck with me lately, and I could recommend to anyone to read, I could recommend to everyone to read it, is The Alchemist.
Yeah.
And The Alchemist is basically like your inner child and the journey that he's on, and realising, you know, life is about all the swings and roundabouts, mate. So if you stick to your true self and your passion, that road will always come to that. Like, the road you take will always end to the end goal that you always want. And that's the book I read once a year. And it's not a hard book to read, but it hits home. Hits home. So yeah, all that stuff and manifesting and believing in my faith has helped me heaps, mate. Like, helped me get through a lot and changing my mindset. And it's funny that I got notes in my phone and just papers of writing of I will. This is before I got any followers on Bombr sneakers. I will sell out in my sneaker drops. I will do this. I'll do it, and every single one has been checked off.
Yes.
Yeah.
I love that, man.
Yeah, and you forget about them too. So I write them and then forget about them.
Yeah.
And then I pick them up. Like, I'm moving houses. I've been telling you, I'm moving houses this week. And I'm moving. I go, oh, wow, that's actually a spin out. Yeah, I've done those. That's mad. What's the next one, you know?
Good. Well, I like even the way you've recommended some books to people, because everyone on this show is usually people that are trying to get better.
Yeah.
And get better, normally the type of people that are also helping other people.
Yeah.
You know? So I'm sure someone's going to go grab that book and probably hand it to someone else.
Literally, The Alchemist, you can be in grade 3 or you can be, 50-year-old wanting to start a new business. And it works for everyone, that book, The Alchemist.
Well, I have something that I kind of stick to in players that I work with know this. I have a vision where, let's say, everyone sees the trophy, right? But I break that down. For me, like, my vision is about helping other people, whereas the trophy will take care of itself if we all live really authentic to our own vision. So within a team, everyone's got their own vision. and their own philosophy. So mine is to assist, lead, or inspire someone else to achieve their ultimate goal, right? So
Yeah.
how that works is, let's say you're working for a team and everyone wants to win the championship. So if I every day tick that off and I totally assist whoever I work for, every day, everything I do is to assist that either head coach or that player or that club, whatever it is. If I assist, there'll be some parts of the program I would have to lead,
Yep.
or in some way try to inspire them through something,
Yep.
either myself or use content or education, whatever it is. But if I do that every day and tick that off, like I just am a true believer that the trophies take care of itself.
Yep.
And I started doing that with this podcast. So the whole idea of the podcast is to assist people. So that vision of mine, that's like authentic to me. I've got my own influences of where that's kind of come from. My philosophy is to show I care. So if I live by that, show I care, and I live by this. So with the podcast, right, someone asked me once, in fact, my own son, he put me down one day, God bless him, he said, mate, what are you doing this podcast for? Are you serious? Like, this is my 17-year-old.
Yeah.
And he paid out on me one day about like the effort I was putting in. So because at first, when you do a podcast, people are going like, why would you do a podcast? Like, you don't get paid for that, do you?
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
But I believe, like, let's say the trophy in podcast world could be money.
Yeah.
Or let's say the trophy is sponsorship. Or
Yeah.
whatever, that's the trophy. But I don't think about that.
No, that's right.
I don't think at all, mate,
No.
ever about money from a podcast. I think if this episode assists somebody or inspires somebody
Yeah.
somehow,
Yeah.
then that other stuff will take care of itself.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
Nah, I rate that.
so
That's quality.
Yeah, so I live by that. Like every time I go and do an episode, even now when I'm talking to you, I'm thinking, are we planting a seed for someone out there
Yeah.
where it's going to help them, or maybe help them help someone else?
Yeah.
So we've already done that
Yeah.
today.
Yeah.
Already in this episode, I can tick that off.
It's like that ripple effect, eh?
Yeah. So I'm a big believer in that, man.
Yeah, that's
I'm
mad.
a big
I'm going to
believer
take
in
that, bro, with me.
Yeah.
I like that.
You can do that.
Yeah, I
Put a
appreciate it.
copyright on it.
Yeah, 10%.
No. So I actually, I did. I did a lot of my own kind of deep work in my own coaching space, and who influenced me throughout my career and their characteristics, what I liked, and when I was at my best. So it's very real to me, that philosophy and that vision.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm a true believer, mate, that the trophies take care of itself.
Yeah.
And it's the same with you. Like, the trophy's going to be some hundreds of $1 million sneaker company that someone's going to try to buy off you one day. But you know what? You've just been living your vision along the
That's
way,
it.
and the trophy will take care of
Yeah.
itself. You know,
Success is in the journey.
Yeah.
I just like chipping away at stuff and having a good laugh and inspiring others, man.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
So this creative space here, let's talk about this space. I walk in that room when you enter and you got that big wall with all those successful people
Yeah.
from the area.
Yeah.
You look at that and straight away it's inspiring. And then it's got this little area in this building where you got the couch where people just hang out and all these positive, creative energies in there.
Yeah.
And then you got the mad studio hire area and the photo shoot area, and then
Yeah.
you got space like this. Like, where do you see this 27 project going?
Well, our goal really wasn't to make money with bookings, but money comes through content these days, yeah? And we love making content. And like you said, we're not worried about the money because we can all make money with our own businesses, but having a laugh and editing videos and doing potties with the boys is all we wanted. All we wanted was a space that we could all work out of and share it with the community,
Yeah.
you know? And with this space, man, I reckon at the end of the day, we're all going to have our own warehouses one day. And it's just going to be a massive actual creative hub. And this is a creative hub in itself, and having all the faces and people in it at the moment and the people that are coming through is amazing.
Yeah.
But yeah, I just see the content that we make in here absolutely changing the game in Australia. And no one will see what's been done in here before, you know, like this is going to be it's going to be it, you know, making content with the boys, and Ty, especially Ty, he's a character, and Nico, who's a wizard on the camera and editing.
Yeah.
And then we've got the rest of our team here. Tuesday, Chris. We've got another lad from the area, Beans, who helps with us stuff lately. But yeah, man, it's just a mad little hub.
That's cool. And now you've got a regular in me.
That's it, brother. I got you. That's it.
No, mate. So what about we've gone through some of your influences, your dad being a massive one, and some coaches. What about in this creative space? Is there because I'm all my world's usually coaching and sport, and it's ventured into talking and speaking engagement with businesses around like leadership and culture and high performing teams, and that's kind of all I know. So everything I'm living and breathing and reading and my contacts world it's all kind of coaching. That's how I was brought up. The whole bit. So, but this creative space is intriguing to me. Like, I feel I'm a bit creative, but I just haven't.
Well, you come up with an idea that we'll do eventually. That was creative. I was like, I didn't expect that from you.
Let's do it, brother. We're going to do it. We'll do that. There's something coming. But in that world, like, is there people you've kind of idolised? You know how, like, in the coaching world, there's someone you learn from, or like there's coaches that aren't even living anymore that I still just love their influence on me. Yeah. Is there someone in that art world or creative
I've got
world?
Heaps. Like with fashion, I have Axel Arigato, a brand, a Swedish brothers who started making shoes as well with the same supplier who I found lucky enough. It's full weird like how that happened for me. There's another brand in England called Represent, two brothers as well. And what else, man? Like in the street art, scene, Shepherd Ferry, Obey. There's a brand called Obey, and used to use Andre the Giant's head, the wrestler.
Yeah, right.
And that's where I get a lot of my inspiration from. Banksy. There's quite a few, man. And when it comes to content, man, bro, my bro Nick here, man, he inspires me. He's got his levels, man, and that's why he's doing good things. So yeah, there's a lot of good influence around me, and especially with the fashion scene, it's not hard to find good people to look up to right now. So yeah.
You just mentioned Andre the Giant's head.
Yeah.
So someone used that as their branding.
Yes.
And now you've got a head as your...
That's where I get it from.
That's where you got it from.
Yeah. So the brand Knack I had that was doing the paste ups and street art, I was using the head as well because I read his book, Shepherd Ferry's book, and I thought I could do that here. No one's done it here. And weirdly enough, I've always been wanting to be that person, the first to do it. I don't know if you get what I'm saying. And I'm always try to do that. But yeah, and then I transitioned that to having my own Bombr head, what you see with the big lips.
Okay, now I'm getting it.
Yeah, that's it.
So I actually, as a kid, had a figurine toy of Andre the Giant.
Yeah.
Little wrestler.
Yeah, yeah.
Big wrestler.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
That's him.
It's him. Yeah, and a brand.
Is there a figurine of your head at the moment?
No, but I've tried to make one. Yeah, we need to make one. Even if we just can have, all of us can have a bobblehead. Just
put it out on show in the
that's
office.
It. But yeah, man, that's where I get the inspiration from.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
So when you open up a store,
yep.
Is there a store in the world that's inspired you that you go, oh, I'm going to do that, or I'm going to do that, or are you going to be a first? Like, there's a couple of things. Being a first is always good, and then also the best is when someone says you can't do it.
I get that heaps.
Yeah.
And I want to get something that's already good and make it 10 times better.
Yeah.
And that's the thing too.
That's like people telling me you can't do a podcast.
Yeah, we'll do it. And then I can do it 10 times better than what anyone else can do. Yeah, that's it.
So tell me about the store. What can you see?
Well, first of all, I'm just going to do online store. Yeah. And there's some things I've seen to make a demand, and I'm all about supply and demand. And I've read books in the fashion scene, how they do that and how to market your stuff strategically. Yeah. How to even down to how much you price your shoes up for and all that. So I think what I want to do is, first of all, once the shoes are here ready to go, is to do an event here, which I'd love for you to be here for.
Yeah.
And do like more not so much a runway show, but have just like cool, like my shoes floating from the ceiling and stuff, and people can buy them and wear them, and some merch there that they can try on and wear. And then from there, make a demand, because all the people that we have here are influential. So hopefully the others would love to be a part of that as well.
Mate, lock me in for this event.
Please.
I don't know if I'm on the runway.
Nah, you got you on there.
Like I got these my favourite Asics shoes here. You could maybe, I don't know what you could do with them, but I'm not sure I'm at the age to make things look cool. Or do you think I can?
Mate, it's not easy. I mean, it's not hard. It's easy. Yeah. It's just what you're wearing now is fine. Just chuck on a pair of Bombers, mate, and then you're set.
Okay, because my 15-year-old son might argue with this. Yeah, no, yeah. He might say no. He's cool. He's
got. I bet you he's got all the Jordans,
mate,
all the nice hoodies.
Yeah,
he's set.
Yeah, it cost me a fortune.
Yeah,
you know the kids. Yeah, his whole bedroom's got shoes.
Yeah, that's mad.
Yeah. In fact, he used to draw on shoes when he was 10 years old.
Yeah, right.
Seriously, like he's kind of moved away from that.
Yeah.
He's mad into his sport at the moment, but I might. Well, first of all, I'm going to encourage him to read.
Yep.
Like you read some books.
Yeah.
But yeah, he used to draw on shoes, and he had his.
That's where it starts, man.
Yeah.
Being creative, some sort, just some way. You just be creative. They're all like. Well, my story's weird. Like how
when he's ready to leave school and be an apprentice, I'll send him to you.
Yeah.
You'll be. Yeah, mate.
I'd love to have him.
Yeah.
Have him here, mate. Show him some stuff, some cool stuff. Yeah.
Well, mate, you dropped some absolute bombs.
Thank you, brother.
Bomber.
Yep.
You dropped some bombs there today for the listeners in a different space of mine. I'm used to talking with a lot of sport people or coaches, or I have done a couple with some business guys, and the ones I've done, like the owner of Tripadil, which is now $hundreds of $million company, insane. He started just backing himself. It was a great episode. It wasn't a video episode, but an audio one. It was really good. Tripadil, who've become supporters of the show as well. I did one with the owner of Pertec, who now heads up Pertec in America, Pertec USA, and he had some really good. I find he thinks like a coach, but like they started a tiny little warehouse in Western Sydney.
Yeah, that's insane, eh?
And now they're worldwide.
I'd like to double in that. Did you say Pertec?
Pertec, yeah.
So it's to do with cars and stuff, yeah? Is that the one?
Every industry. Yeah, so you've seen their brand in the car racing space. You've seen their brand.
Yeah.
You've seen it across... Eels way back. Yeah. You've seen it across the Kiwis. You've seen their brand.
Yeah, so they're huge,
their company is involved in so many different industries.
That's mad.
Defence force, mining, construction, automotive.
Yeah, see, that's inspiring.
You name it.
And they're from Western Sydney.
They started with a little warehouse in Western Sydney. Wow. Their headquarters now is at King Park. It's huge now.
Yeah.
They have hundreds of franchises around Australia, hundreds of franchises around America and globally.
Wow.
So, but he did an episode with me where just a casual chat where you could see what really makes them tick as well.
Yeah, yeah.
And heavily influenced by his father is the original owner, still owns it, Peter Duncan. So I've had a couple of businesses on the show, but not enough.
Yeah.
Not enough. Like you really inspired me to maybe talk to some more people like you,
I
man.
appreciate it, bro. Yeah, it's mad. Like, a lot of the, like I said, a lot of the disciplines and things like that I've learned is from sport anyway, so it all works in with each other, with itself, with each other. And
one of the biggest nuggets of gold you shared today was it was a tough time in your life, a real tough time, and you managed to just say, no, I'm not going to kick stones, I'm going to do this, and this, and that's still not saying it wasn't. It's not like it was easy, like you had to make some choices.
That's right.
You surrounded yourself with good people.
That was one of the main things,
That become pretty clear today. Yeah, man. Hey, let's have a look. What could you do with them? I want. Can you do something with them?
Yeah, for sure. I can work with anything, mate.
I don't know if the camera picked that up because I'm not flexible enough, but these nice little Asics.
Easy work, mate.
Mate, let's think about what we could do with them. They're a nice blank canvas for you.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, mate, you're a legend.
I appreciate it, man. Thank you so much,
Legend. Some of the best learning you will ever do will be traveling. Give yourself space, time to creatively think, to learn, to meet people, or take a vacation with your family. Give yourself that time. And there's no better person or people or company to help you than the people at Tripadeal. Their experienced agents will look after you from start to finish. They will plan your flights, your accommodation, your car, your excursions, whatever you need. If you want to plan a trip of a lifetime, Tripadeal is the place to go. tripadeal.com.au